Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. We're always glad to bring to you, give you updates, especially in some of the news that impacts us in our community. Always glad to have Trooper Ross Brennan here. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Al.
Appreciate it, Trooper. All right. Of course, Public Information Officer for Troop C. Listen, I know that Troop C has been involved in coordinating, and y'all have been kind of the main lead on investigating this incident that took place on Sunday, April the 2nd, where we lost the life of a gentleman, Sergeant Nicholas Pepper. Tell us a little bit more as we kind of recap what happened in your investigation.
Yeah, like you said, state police, we were called shortly after the incident occurred, April 2nd. Started off with a pursuit that originally in Home Police Department's jurisdiction, ended up coming up through LA1, the Thibodaux area, and involved, in addition to Home Police, also Lafourche Sheriff's Office. At some point, the subject, he did stop. There was some negotiations that went on, and then from there, the suspect began to accelerate from that scene, and as you said, collided with Sergeant Pepper,
right,
ultimately causing his death in that incident. So yeah, state police definitely, our detectives were involved and to help investigate. The subject, he was arrested. We released that identity, 33-year-old Anthony Savoie of Bourg.
Right.
He's been in custody ever since the incident occurred.
Right.
He was injured in that crash, so he was transported to a nearby hospital. In addition to state police that provided some security in observing him, Thibodaux Police Department also lended us a hand too. So we had round-the-clock security with him, make sure that he didn't leave that hospital. Once he was able to be medically discharged, he was transported to the Lafourche Parish Jail, where he was booked on the following charges: of first-degree murder of a police officer, attempted first-degree murder of a police officer, aggravated flight from an officer, and there's another charge, a warrant for failure to appear. That's through Terrebonne Parish. That's a warrant through them.
Okay.
So in this particular case here, he was booked in Lafourche. However, he's being housed in Terrebonne Parish. So I guess to have an outside agency looking into it, Terrebonne Parish District Attorney's Office is actually going to be the one doing the criminal proceedings from here out. So it's not going to be the Lafourche Parish District Attorney, and he's not going to be housed at the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office at their jail.
Right.
So it's going to be done through the Terrebonne Parish court systems and things such as that. Yeah, a lot of different agencies helped out for sure, especially that night. I mean, whether if it was Lafourche Sheriff's Office, State Police, there was Nichols Police Department, Thibodaux, Terrebonne. A lot of people came out that night that occurred. Coroner's Office, Acadian.
Right.
Multiple different agencies. Anytime you have a major event like this, everybody really comes out and tries to lend a hand in some type of way.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are asking, they want to know, what is this guy's bond set at? His bail is set at $5.6 million. That in and of itself, I think, says a lot. It says a lot about the gravity of the situation and the fact that one of those who serve every day, many years of service, 24 plus years of service, who lost his life helping out.
Yeah.
He heard about the situation and was helping out the rest of his men in blue, and he lost his life in the line of duty.
Well, I understand that he was actually working overtime.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah. Occupant or impaired driver overtime, trying to get impaired drivers off the roadway. So it wasn't even a normal shift that he was working that night. But there was funeral services that were yesterday on Wednesday. Hundreds of different agencies showed out, just to show their support. Multiple members of the community also showed up. So it's extremely tragic when incidents like this occur in our area, but it's always good to know that the community and other law enforcement agencies show up to help show that support as well.
One of the things that I talked about, some of the people that stay out or on the road many days are often one of those people. Kind of, we got an email chain that went through about stopping and making sure that we thank those people who do that work. I was fortunate enough, there was a gentleman at the jail, Lafourche Parish Jail, and it just dawned on me, he stopped to help somebody and give them directions. And I just drove by and told him that we were thinking about them and their sheriff's office family and all of those things and the people that were impacted. Of course, Nicholas had a wife and three children. That's just some of those things that it really drives it home to these rather senseless incidents and accidents, because this gentleman made the decision to not negotiate, to not really listen to what was being told to him, and he sped off, rammed into the police officer's vehicle, sheriff's office vehicle, and ultimately took his life.
Yeah, and that photo there, that's actually Sergeant Pepper's handcuffs. They used his own personal handcuffs to transport the subject that started all this. So, yeah, talking about, if you I think it'd be a good idea if you see somebody with the Lafouche Sheriff's Office, just if you feel inclined, stop and just say, hey, look, we support y'all, praying for y'all, things such as that, especially during this time for them.
Yeah, and it's just, it's one of those times that, as we approach this holiday season, this Easter holiday season, Holy Week, and we think about the people that have these tragic losses. Trooper, I know y'all deal with that all the time, but when it comes to one of your own, I know that hits home a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime. And in fact, even today in Baton Rouge, they're having the funeral service for those two Baton Rouge police officers that died in a helicopter crash.
Right.
So, unfortunately, recently there's been a lot in the state of Louisiana. And anytime, you lose a law enforcement officer, it hurts the other ones and stuff too. Just you feel like you're losing a brother in a sense. But yeah, we'll pull through this. We're a resilient community down here, and it's always like, again, we're already feeling the love from the community and the support, and that's one good thing that we have down here.
It really is. It's one of those, the family atmosphere. We know that everybody in blue is working hard to keep us safe, to do a job, and they have a high-risk job. We thank you. We thank your teams for what y'all do, and we always appreciate the updated information, because I'm glad the public is able to do that. So, again, thank you, and our thoughts and prayers go out to all of those men in blue doing that job every day.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Trooper. All right, guys, and that will do it for this particular segment of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. A whole lot more when we continue right here on HTV.